I woke up on Thanksgiving to an empty house. My son and his wife left for a luxury trip without me. Those words have been ringing in my chest ever since that morning, like a clock that won't stop reminding me of the time I've lost. That's how my Thanksgiving began, with silence, emptiness, and a truth I never wanted to face. Hello, my sweet dears. It's Grandma Clara. Pull up a chair, pour yourself a warm cup of tea, and let me tell you about Thanksgiving that changed me in ways I didn't see coming. It's a story about loneliness, yes, but also about learning what love truly looks like, especially when it feels like it's gone missing. I still remember the smell of cinnamon drifting from the little candle I had lit the night before Thanksgiving always meant something to me. Family, laughter, the sound of footsteps running across the kitchen floor. But that morning, it was just me. And it was quiet. I slipped my feet into my warm slippers, humming as I walked down the hallway. I was thinking about the turkey I'd marinated overnight, the cranberry compote cooling in the fridge, and the table I'd set with the good plates, the ones that belonged to my mother. Everything was ready. Everything was waiting, but they weren't. The first thing I noticed was the stillness. No voices, no bags, no clinking dishes or hurried footsteps, just still. I called out gently at first. "Daniel? Mary? Are you two awake?" My voice echoed back to me like a reminder of something I already knew. There was no answer. My heart fluttered, but I told myself, maybe they went for a walk. Maybe they stepped outside. But when I reached the kitchen, my breath caught the turkey pan was untouched. The side dishes remained wrapped. The Thanksgiving centerpiece, a bundle of dried wheat, tiny pumpkins, and a little wooden give thanks sign, looked so festive on a table, no one was planning to join, and then I saw it. An envelope. Right there on the counter, next to the leftover pie crust I had rolled out for Daniel, just the way he liked it. My hand shook as I opened it. A short note, just a few lines. "Mom, we're leaving early for our trip. Don't wait for us. Please understand. This year we need a break. We'll call you later. Daniel and Mary." A break? From what? From me? My eyes blurred. I pressed the note to my chest and tried to steady my breath, but the truth swept through me like cold November wind. They were gone. On Thanksgiving. A day I had always believed was about staying close, holding tight, remembering where you came from. I walked to the window, and that's when I saw the driveway empty. Their suitcases, already packed the night before. Their plans, made without me ever knowing. Their Thanksgiving, somewhere far, far away. My lips trembled as I whispered into the quiet kitchen, "Why, Daniel, why didn't you tell me?" I stood there for a long moment, holding the note as if squeezing it might squeeze out answers. But there were none. Just the hum of the refrigerator, just the candle burning softly, just the little turkey in my fridge that nobody wanted anymore. I sank into one of the dining chairs, looking at the table I'd set so lovingly the night before. Everything was perfect, except the people I'd prepared it for. It's a strange thing, how you can feel so invisible in your own home. All around me, Thanksgiving cheer peeked through every corner. The garland I hung over the fireplace, the tiny lights twinkling on the mantle, the little wooden turkey Daniel made when he was 7. I touched that wooden turkey and felt the memory running through my fingers. Him handing it to me with glue still drying, smiling with pride. And now, he couldn't even tell me he was leaving. It was like standing in the middle of a life I built, but no longer belonged to. But here is the thing, my dears. Loneliness has a way of pushing you toward the truth. Even truths you're not ready for. Because as I sat there in my quiet kitchen, feeling forgotten and replaced, I had no idea that Thanksgiving was about to take a turn. I never expected someone was already on their way to my house. Someone I hadn't thought of in a long, long time. And when I opened that door later, well, my life changed, but that part comes later. For now, I just sat there with a cold note, a warm heart that hurt, and a Thanksgiving table for 3 with only one chair filled. I stayed at that table longer than I should have, staring at the note like it might change if I blinked hard enough. But it didn't. My son and his wife were really gone, off to some luxury resort. While their Thanksgiving dinner sat untouched on my table, I finally stood up and folded the note, tucking it into my apron pocket like a bruise I didn't want anyone to see. I gathered myself, made a cup of tea, and sat by the window, watching the quiet street outside, thinking about how strange life can be. The Thanksgiving morning sun was soft, a pale gold that touched the frosted grass and made everything look peaceful, even though my heart wasn't. For a moment, I wondered if maybe this was a sign. Maybe God wanted me to rest, to slow down, to think. But before I could settle into that thought, I saw something. A car pulling into my driveway. I squinted, leaning closer to the glass. It wasn't Daniel's car. It wasn't anyone I recognized. For a moment, I wondered if they were lost, or if they were dropping off something, maybe a package. But then the driver's door opened, and someone stepped out, a woman, tall, wrapped in a burgundy coat, with a scarf that looked hand-knitted draped around her neck. She held something in her hands, a small box, tied with twine. She hesitated for a moment, looking at my house like she wasn't sure she had the right one. I watched her, confused. Before I finally opened the door, the cold air rushed in as I wrapped my shawl tighter around my shoulders. "Hello?" I called gently. Her head lifted, and when our eyes met, something softened in her expression. Like she'd been carrying a weight and suddenly found a place to set it down. "Mrs. Warren?" she asked. "That's me," I said, still trying to place her face. She took a slow breath. "My name is Anna." The name fluttered through my mind. Familiar, but faint, like a photograph you saw once, but never held on to. I don't believe we've met," I said softly. She stepped closer, the little box in her hands trembling just a bit. "No, we haven't, but..." She swallowed. "I'm here because someone asked me to come." My eyebrows lifted. "Someone? Who?" She took another breath, her eyes glistening. "It was... your husband." My knees almost gave way beneath me. My husband? The man who passed away years ago? What could she possibly mean? "I don't understand," I whispered. She gently held out the box toward me. "He asked me to bring this to you today, specifically on Thanksgiving, and to come only if you are alone." My fingers trembled as I reached for the box. It felt heavier than it looked, full of something, weighted with purpose. "Come inside," I said quietly, stepping back to let her in. She walked into my warm little living room, her eyes drifting across the Thanksgiving decorations, soft autumn garlands, tiny pumpkins, the little crocheted turkey I'd made years ago. "It's beautiful here," she said, her voice almost reverent. "Thank you." I motioned toward the sofa. "Would you like to sit?" She nodded, taking a seat, her hands folded tightly in her lap. I sat across from her, holding the small box like it might break if I opened it too quickly. "Tell me," I said gently, "what is all this about?" She looked down, gathering her thoughts. "My mother, she used to work with your husband at the community center. After he retired, he volunteered a lot, you know?" I nodded. That sounded like him. He always found a way to help people, even when he couldn't help himself. "My mother passed away 3 years ago," she continued softly. "And when she was very sick, your husband came to see her. He visited often, he prayed with her, he helped her with paperwork, he made sure she had meals. But more than anything, he listened." Her eyes glistened as she spoke. One day she told him how grateful she was, and he said. The woman lowered her gaze and whispered the words, "One day someone will help my wife the way I'm helping you." My breath caught in my throat. She continued, voice trembling, and he told her that if she ever wanted to repay that kindness, she should make sure you were never alone on the holidays. My hand flew to my mouth as tears filled my eyes. She swallowed. "Before my mother died, she gave me this box," She told me to deliver it to you on Thanksgiving, but only if you were alone. She said your husband insisted on that part. My heart was beating so loudly I could hear it. Why today? I whispered, my voice barely there. She looked into my eyes with so much gentleness. Because he knew you would need it most on a day meant for family. I held the box tighter, feeling the ache in my chest shift from pain to something like tenderness and longing and a kind of love that lingers long after someone is gone. Why didn't you come sooner? I asked softly. Her voice broke. I did, twice, but both times there were cars in your driveway, laughter inside, family, and I didn't want to intrude. Today was the first time the house looked. She paused carefully. Empty. Empty. That word again. Stinging, but somehow healing too. I looked at the box again, my fingers brushing the twine. Inside this little wooden box was the echo of a man I loved deeply. A message he planned long before he left this world. A reminder that kindness always comes full circle, even through strangers, even through time, and I knew. Opening it would change my Thanksgiving forever. But I wasn't ready yet, not with Anna sitting there, looking so unsure. So instead, I set the box down gently. Anna, I said softly, have you eaten breakfast? She blinked. No, not yet. I smiled warmly, my heart steadier now than it had been all morning. Then let me fix us something. It's still Thanksgiving, and no one should be alone. Her eyes filled with tears as she nodded. What I didn't tell her then, what I was still trying to understand, was that sometimes the people who walk into your life unexpectedly, well now, when I reached the bottom of those stairs, my knees trembled and my heart felt just a little too heavy. I saw it, a single sheet of paper, sitting right there on my kitchen counter like a tiny white flag of surrender, or maybe a warning. I walked toward it slowly, the way you do when you already know you won't like what you're about to read. And, baby, when I tell you my hands shook, oh, they truly did. I picked up that note and read the very first line. Mom, don't wait up. We're going on a Thanksgiving getaway. A getaway. That's what they called it. Like leaving your old mother behind in a silent house was the same as leaving a pot on the stove. My eyes kept going, even though my heart begged me to stop. We found a last-minute luxury resort deal. Thought we deserved a break. A break? From what? Cooking? Cleaning? From the mother who raised that boy with everything she had? Then came the line that stung the most. We didn't want you to feel uncomfortable traveling, so we figured it was best to let you relax at home. Relax. At home. On Thanksgiving. By myself, child. I put that note down so slow you'd think it was made of glass. For a long moment, I just stood there in that kitchen. The same kitchen where I cooked every Thanksgiving meal for 36 years straight, where my son used to tug on my apron and ask, "Is the turkey done yet, Mama?" Where laughter used to fill the room like warm light. But that morning, nothing. Only the refrigerator humming like it was the only thing left that remembered I was alive. I walked to the window and saw their car was gone, suitcases gone, footprints in the frost tracing their way out of the driveway and out of my holiday. And right then, a little ache settled in my chest. Not anger, not yet. Just that quiet little ache you get when you finally admit someone you love doesn't see you the way they used to. I sat at the kitchen table, folded my hands, and whispered, "Well, ain't this something?" But you know what happened then? Something inside me shifted. Just a little. Like a flame struggling to light. Because if they thought I was going to sit there all day feeling sorry for myself, they didn't know their mama as well as they thought they did. No, baby. If Thanksgiving had to start alone, that didn't mean it was going to stay that way. Some doors only open when the house gets too quiet, and the one that opened next started the whole change I never saw coming. Well now, sugar. After a while of sitting in that cold, quiet kitchen, watching the steam swirl from the cup of tea I didn't even remember making. A thought slipped into my mind like a shy guest at the door. You don't have to spend Thanksgiving alone. And I blinked because it felt almost strange, like hearing my own voice speak a truth I'd forgotten. You see, baby, when you spend so many years caring for everybody else, you forget you're allowed to care for you too. So I stood up, slow but sure, and grabbed my coat. The house was still, watching me the way a sleeping child watches a mother leave the door cracked. Outside, the air was crisp, the kind that nips your nose and makes the world smell like pine and chimney smoke. Somewhere in the distance, a family was laughing. Oh, and that sound felt like both a comfort and a reminder. I walked down the street to the little church at the corner. Nothing fancy, white paint peeling, old bell tower leaning just a little, but it always had a warmth to it, like it held the memories of everyone who ever cried, prayed, or laughed inside those walls. And when I pushed open that door, mercy, the glow that welcomed me, it wrapped around me like a knit blanket, tables set with real clothes, not paper, candles flickering like tiny heartbeats, children running around with cranberry-stained mouths, and volunteers, aprons on, sleeves rolled, serving turkey with love that felt thick enough to taste. Old Pastor James spotted me, and his whole face lit up. "Well, if it isn't Miss Eleanor," he said, opening his arms. "Come on in, child. We always got room for you." And oh, I almost cried right there. They sat me at a table with folks who had stories just like mine. A lady whose kids lived 3 states away, a widower who missed his wife's sweet potato pie, a young mother who said she'd left a home where she wasn't appreciated. Every one of us forgot in one way or another. But here, we were seen. Someone slid a plate in front of me, golden turkey, stuffing cooked with sage, mashed potatoes with a butter puddle in the middle, and whispered, "Happy Thanksgiving." And baby, my eyes filled so fast I had to look down at my napkin real quick because it wasn't the food. It wasn't the candlelight. It wasn't even the music, soft and warm like a lullaby. It was the feeling that even when your own family closes the door on you, life has a way of opening another one. Right when you need it most, we ate, we talked, we laughed. And for the first time all morning, I didn't feel abandoned. I felt chosen. But life, child. Life always has a twist waiting just past dessert. And when I got home from that beautiful church meal, there was something waiting on my porch. Something that changed the whole story. Well now, when I reached my front porch that evening, my heart still felt soft from all the kindness at the church meal. But the moment I saw what was sitting by my door, that softness tightened into something sharp and aching. There, on the cold wooden step, was a suitcase, my suitcase, packed with the clothes I keep in the guest room for when I visit my son. The tag still had my name on it, written in old ink. On top of it lay a handwritten note. My hands shook a little as I picked it up. The street light flickered overhead, casting shadows across the words like they were embarrassed to be read. "Mom, we forgot you had planned to come with us. Since we already left, we figured we'd drop your things off so you wouldn't be waiting. We'll call when we're back." No apology, no warmth, no happy Thanksgiving. Just cold, careless, convenience, like they were returning a library book. I stood there a long moment, wind tugging at my sleeves, the night quiet except for the rustle of dry leaves at my feet. Funny thing is, I wasn't angry, not anymore. Anger had burned itself out earlier that morning, leaving behind only clarity, a kind of clear that feels almost holy. I took that suitcase inside, set it by my bedroom door, and sat on the edge of my bed, smoothing my hand across the quilt my own mama had stitched. Oh, baby. Memories came over me like a wave. The years I'd cooked every Thanksgiving dinner, set every table, wrapped every gift, waited up late for my boy to come home hungry and sleepy, all the times I said yes when I should have said no. All the moments I let myself be the family doormat, thinking that meant I was being a good mother, I pressed that note flat against my knee and whispered into the quiet room, "Enough." That word felt heavier than any suitcase. Next morning, when the sun rose, soft and golden like butter melting, I went to my little kitchen table with a cup of tea and my old address book. I wrote a small letter, just a few lines. "Dear Michael, I love you more than you will ever know, but I won't let myself feel second-rate in my own family anymore. When you want me in your life with respect, my door will always be open, but until then, I am stepping back." I mailed it. No drama, no tears, just the truth. A few days later, he called, but I let it ring. Some things, some wounds, need silence before they can heal, and healing, child, is exactly what I promised myself. I joined a senior book club. I started baking again, even signed up to volunteer at the church Thanksgiving dinner next year. And my heart, oh, it's lighter now, stronger too, because sometimes closing a door isn't an ending, it's a beginning. You were brave enough to choose. Thank you, my dear ones, for sitting with me through this story. If it touched your heart even a little, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and join me again for more stories shared with love.